Today's episode covers Chinese EV export trends, Waymo's robotaxi update, a new Tesla 4680 battery announcement, affordable classic car EV conversions, and a major forecast that could reshape EV production plans. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, Chinese EV export numbers for 2025 are drawing fresh attention from manufacturers and policymakers around the world. Recent reporting highlights that exports from Chinese automakers are rising and reaching new markets, a trend that's adding pressure on global competitors to rethink pricing, supply chains, and market strategies. For automakers in Europe, North America, and elsewhere, the availability of competitively priced, feature-rich EVs from China is shifting negotiations with dealers and prompting some OEMs to accelerate cost reduction measures and feature differentiation. This export wave is about more than price alone. Chinese manufacturers have been improving software, range, and vehicle features, and they are leveraging integrated supply chains and economies of scale to move aggressively into overseas markets. That dynamic is prompting governments and regulators to pay closer attention to trade flows and certification processes, while suppliers outside China watch closely for shifts in parts demand. Expect continued discussions within the industry about balancing market access, local production incentives, and the strategic responses incumbents will deploy as competition intensifies. Moving on, Waymo has made a notable update in its robotaxi program that touches on passenger experience and operational capability. The company's latest development involves the mechanics and user interactions associated with doors on its autonomous vehicles, an apparently small detail that actually matters a great deal for customer acceptance and safety. Engineering a seamless and reliable door closing sequence, combined with clear passenger communication, contributes to overall trust in fully driverless services and helps reduce operational friction during pickups and drop-offs. Small systems like door mechanisms also surface coordination challenges across hardware, software, and fleet operations, especially when scaling to commercial deployments. For fleet managers, a reliable door closing solution can reduce incidents and service disruptions, which in turn affects utilization rates and the economics of robotaxi services. For the broader ADAS and autonomy community, updates like this serve as a reminder that real-world deployment is a blend of high-level perception and control algorithms and attention to mundane but mission-critical details that passengers interact with on every ride. Next, Tesla has announced a new LFP 4680 battery that the company says is part of its ongoing battery innovation efforts. The 4680 cell form factor has been a focal point of Tesla's strategy to increase energy density, reduce costs, and simplify manufacturing, and any new iteration or variant of that architecture is worth watching for its implications across vehicle range, manufacturing efficiency, and supply chain choices. Improvements at the cell level can ripple through vehicle architecture, potentially allowing for higher pack energy, different thermal designs, or changes to assembly processes. For suppliers and competitors, Tesla's battery announcements are a barometer of where battery technology is headed and what kinds of partnerships or investments may become necessary. If the LFP 4680 delivers on promised gains in cost or performance, it could influence procurement strategies for raw materials, the pace of cell adoption in other automakers' roadmaps, and the way manufacturers design battery packs. At the same time, scaling a new cell design commercially is a complex undertaking that requires alignment across raw materials, gigafactory tooling, and quality control. So industry watchers will be parsing both the technical claims and the practical steps Tesla outlines for bringing the cell into large-scale production. Shifting gears to a different corner of the market, there's growing momentum around affordable conversions of classic cars to electric powertrains. A recent story highlights a lower-cost pathway to converting older, beloved vehicles into EVs, making sustainable restoration more accessible to enthusiasts and collectors. These conversions offer an appealing alternative for drivers who want the aesthetic and emotional value of a classic car without the maintenance hassles and emissions of an internal combustion engine. This trend has multiple implications. For the aftermarket, lower-cost conversion kits and service offerings create a new business stream that can support local garages, specialty shops, and parts suppliers. For OEMs and classic car communities, conversions raise questions about authenticity, certification, and the long-term value of converted vehicles. Regulators and insurers are also adapting, as converted classics require inspection and valuation frameworks that account for new powertrains. Ultimately, these conversions reflect a broader shift in demand toward electrification at all price points and in diverse market segments, from daily drivers to nostalgic restorations. Before we get to our biggest item, one that analysts say could reshape EV production plans for years, a quick request. If you find this show useful, please like and subscribe. That helps us keep bringing the news to you every day. Now, to the most widely discussed item on the agenda, analysts are projecting that Tesla could see EV sales double by 2029. That forecast, if realized, would have far-reaching implications for the automotive industry, suppliers, raw material markets, and the competitive landscape. Doubling sales in a relatively short period would place significant demand on manufacturing capacity, battery cell supply, and logistics, and it would force suppliers and competitors to evaluate their own scaling plans and partnership strategies. For investors and corporate planners, such a projection is a prompt to stress test scenarios across production ramp rates, capital expenditures, and regional manufacturing footprints. For suppliers of battery components, electronics, and chassis hardware, a sharp increase in volume from a major player can create both opportunity and strain. Opportunities in the form of higher order books, and strain in the form of constrained capacity or pricing pressure if demand outstrips supply. At the same time, consumers could benefit from increased availability and competitive pricing, but markets will also watch carefully for how charging infrastructure, regulatory approvals, and regional incentives align with volume growth. The projection underlines the continued centrality of scale and supply chain orchestration in the next phase of EV adoption. As manufacturers and policymakers react to these developments, expect to see more announcements about capacity expansions, strategic partnerships, and investments in battery recycling and regional supply chains. Whether that happens through joint ventures, in-house expansions, or shifts in sourcing will be a critical storyline to follow over the coming years. That wraps our headlines for today. If you liked this episode, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you every day. Thank you for listening, and see you tomorrow.